What if the reality you've always known is nothing more than a carefully crafted illusion, designed by cosmic rulers who thrive on keeping you imprisoned? In today's video, we're pulling back the veil on the mysterious Archons, ancient, malevolent entities believed to have manipulated humanity from the shadows for millennia. We'll trace their origins deep within the enigmatic teachings of Gnosticism, reveal the sinister roles of the 7 Archons, including the fearsome Yaldabaoth and the warlike Sabaoth, and dive into the chilling possibility that their influence isn't just a relic of the past, but an ongoing force shaping our world today. But beware, what you discover might just be the key to breaking free from their insidious grip on your life. Stay with us until the end, because the truth behind these dark rulers could shatter the very foundations of your reality. The term Archon comes from the Greek word archon, meaning ruler or lord. The concept of Archons is deeply rooted in Gnosticism, a religious movement that emerged in the early centuries of the Common Era. Gnostics believed that the material world was created not by a benevolent god but by a lower, flawed deity known as the Demiurge. The Archons were his servants, powerful entities who acted as wardens of the physical world, keeping human souls trapped in a cycle of ignorance and suffering. The Gnostics saw the Archons as rulers of the lower planes of existence, entities that govern the material world and hinder the soul's journey towards divine knowledge, gnosis, and enlightenment. According to these teachings, the Archons are not divine beings, but are instead the product of a cosmic error, part of the flawed creation of the Demiurge. In Gnostic cosmology, the universe is divided into several layers or realms. The highest realm is the Pleroma, the fullness of divine where the true God resides. Below the Pleroma is the material world, a realm created by the Demiurge. The Archons are said to rule over this realm, acting as gatekeepers who prevent souls from ascending to the Pleroma and reuniting with the divine. The Archons' primary role is to maintain the illusion of the material world, keeping humanity ensnared in ignorance and away from the true spiritual knowledge that would lead them to liberation. They do this by manipulating human perceptions, distorting reality, and creating systems of control that bind us to the physical plane. These systems can take many forms, including societal structures, religious dogmas, and even our own thoughts and emotions. In the ancient Gnostic tradition, it is said that there are 7 Archons, powerful and malevolent beings, who govern the material world and impose their influence upon humanity. These entities are not just rulers. They are cosmic jailers, each associated with one of the 7 classical planets and corresponding to specific vices or forces that they impose on the human spirit. The lore surrounding these Archons is rich with symbolism and deep esoteric meaning, painting a picture of a world where unseen forces manipulate the very fabric of reality. And then there's Yaldabaoth, the most fearsome of them all. Picture this: a lion-headed serpent, an entity that embodies pure arrogance and ignorance, the architect of a prison you didn't even know you were in. His creation of the material world wasn't an act of divine benevolence, but a calculated trap for the soul. Yaldabaoth is a master of deception, convincing humanity that the physical world is all there is, thereby keeping us trapped in a cycle of materialism and spiritual blindness. His presence is overwhelming, a constant reminder of the limitations imposed upon us by the physical realm. The ancient texts describe him as the firstborn of chaos, a being who usurped power and claimed dominion over the cosmos, despite his flawed and ignorant nature. Imagine the screen darkening as a serpentine figure emerges, its lion head glowing ominously in the darkness, every flicker of light revealing its twisted form. Next, we encounter Sabaoth, the Archon of war, closely associated with Mars, the planet of conflict. His influence? Violence and aggression, stirring up strife and discord wherever his shadow falls. Sabaoth is the embodiment of raw, unchecked power, his very presence igniting the fires of within the hearts of men. Wars, feuds, and all manners of bloodshed are his domain. Ancient lore paints him as a towering figure clad in armor, his eyes burning with the fury of 1,000 battles. The clashing of swords echoes in the background as Sabaoth's figure looms large, each word he speaks accompanied by the metallic ring of battle. His greatest power lies in perpetuating cycles of violence, ensuring humanity remains embroiled in conflict, unable to achieve peace or harmony. Then there is Astaphanos, the Archon associated with Jupiter, ruler of wealth, power, and ambition. His influence drives humanity's insatiable desire for material success and authority, often leading to greed, corruption, and the pursuit of power at any cost. Astaphanos is often depicted as a regal figure, draped in luxurious robes, with a crown that glitters with the riches of the world. But beneath this veneer of grandeur lies a heart cold and calculating, one that values power above all else. The ancient texts describe how Astaphanos manipulates the ambitions of rulers and kings, pushing them to expand their empires and amass wealth, even if it means the suffering of their subjects. His power is in the allure of materialism, the promise of earthly rewards that ultimately lead to spiritual bankruptcy. Adonaios, linked with the sun, is the Archon of pride and vanity. His influence feeds the human ego, driving the need for recognition, admiration, and self-glorification. Adonaios is often portrayed as a radiant figure, almost blinding in his brilliance, with a demeanor that exudes confidence and superiority. He is the whisper in the ear of those who seek fame and glory, encouraging them to place their self-worth in the hands of others. The ancients believed that Adonaios thrived on the adulation and worship of mortals, drawing strength from their devotion to their own images. His power lies in his ability to inflate the ego to such an extent that individuals lose sight of their true spiritual nature, becoming trapped in a never-ending quest for validation and praise. Elias, the Archon associated with Venus, governs the realm of lust and desire. His influence entangles humanity in the pursuit of sensual pleasures and physical attachments, distracting them from higher spiritual aspirations. Elias is often depicted as a figure of exquisite beauty, with an allure that is impossible to resist. He embodies the seductive nature of physical desire, promising fulfillment and pleasure, yet ultimately leading to emptiness and despair. The lore tells of how Elias uses his charms to ensnare the souls of men and women, binding them to the material world through their desires. His power is in the illusion of satisfaction, the fleeting moments of pleasure that leave a deeper hunger in their wake, driving individuals further away from spiritual enlightenment. Horaios, linked to Mercury, is the Archon of deceit and trickery. He is a master of lies, manipulation, and the distortion of truth, using these tools to keep humanity in a state of confusion and ignorance. Horaios is often depicted as a sly, mercurial figure, with a quicksilver nature that makes him difficult to pin down. His words are honeyed, yet poisonous, designed to mislead and ensnare. The ancient texts describe Horaios as a figure who thrives in the shadows, spreading false knowledge and sowing discord among those who seek the truth. His power lies in his ability to create illusions, to make the false appear true, and to keep humanity from seeing the reality of their existence. But there is more to the story than just these 7 Archons. Hidden in the shadows, there is whispered to be an 8th Archon, one whose existence is shrouded in even greater mystery and secrecy. This Archon is said to wield power over the others, influencing them from behind the scenes, orchestrating the grand deception that keeps humanity bound to the material world. But the true nature of this hidden Archon and the full extent of their power is a story for another video. So stay tuned. Having uncovered the ancient lore surrounding the 7 Archons, let's shift our focus to modern times, where these dark rulers continue to captivate imaginations. We'll explore how contemporary conspiracy theories interpret the Archons' influence, suggesting that their reach extends far beyond the past and into the present day. Modern conspiracy theories about the Archons offer a captivating and sometimes unsettling perspective on how these entities might be influencing humanity from behind the scenes. Over the years, several theories have gained traction, each offering different insights into the nature and extent of the Archons' power. One of the most widespread theories suggests that the Archons are the true controllers behind governments and global elites. According to this view, world leaders and powerful organizations are merely puppets under the influence of these beings, who manipulate global policies and decisions to keep humanity in a state of submission. David Icke, one of the most prominent authors in the field of conspiracy theories, has suggested that the Archons might be a race of interdimensional beings that control humanity through the elites, using tools like war and economic crises to generate fear and chaos. Emotions these beings feed on. Another fascinating theory centers on the idea that the Archons manipulate our perception of reality. This theory posits that we live in a matrix or simulated reality, designed by the Archons to keep us disconnected from our true spiritual nature. The idea that reality might be a simulation has been popularized by figures like philosopher Nick Bostrom and has gained attention with advances in technology and artificial intelligence. Proponents of this theory argue that by keeping us trapped in this illusion, the Archons can perpetuate their control over our minds and prevent us from reaching a higher level of consciousness. Lastly, a more recent theory suggests that the Archons might be behind the rise of technology and digitalization, driving an agenda of dehumanization through technological advancement. According to this perspective, the growing dependence on technology, especially in ways that isolate people or promote emotional disconnection, could be part of an Archon plan to strip humanity of its spiritual essence. Some theorists point to artificial intelligence and transhumanism, which promote the idea of enhancing or replacing aspects of humanity with technology as potentially aligning with the goals of these beings. This theory suggests that by blindly embracing technology, without considering its implications, we might be falling into a trap designed to further enslave our minds and bodies. However, despite the fascination these ideas may evoke, it is important to remember that much of these theories are speculative and not based on concrete evidence. Even so, the concept of the Archons remains powerful, not only as a metaphor for oppressive forces in the world, but also as a call to awareness, urging people to seek a truth beyond superficial appearances. By exploring these ideas, we are encouraged to remain vigilant and seek ways to protect our consciousness and humanity in a world where the lines between truth and illusion are increasingly blurred. As we venture through the shadowy realms of ancient Gnostic thought and modern conspiracies, the Archons stand, revealed not merely as mythical rulers of the astral world, but as potent symbols of the deepest struggles within the human psyche. These entities, whether literal or metaphorical, expose the invisible forces that shape our perceptions, dictate our desires, and control our very reality. They compel us to look beyond the surface, to question the systems that bind us, and to seek a truth that transcends the material world. The tales of the Archons resonate across time, from ancient scriptures to modern theories, holding up a mirror to our own inner battles. Are these forces external oppressors, or do they symbolize the darker aspects of our nature? Perhaps the truth lies somewhere in between, pushing us to strike a balance between awareness and action, between the spiritual and the material. But here's the crucial insight. The true power of the Archons may not lie in their ability to control us, but in our ability to see through their deception and break free. By recognizing the chains of ignorance and illusion, we empower ourselves to reclaim our spiritual sovereignty. Understanding these ancient teachings and their modern implications isn't just a path to knowledge, it's a path to liberation. So what can you do to protect yourself from their influence? Start by questioning the reality presented to you, seeking deeper truths, and connecting with your inner wisdom. Share your journey with others, for in unity, our strength against these forces grows. If this exploration into the hidden truths of the Archons has sparked your curiosity, and you're eager to uncover more esoteric knowledge that can empower you, be sure to like this video and subscribe to our channel. Together, we can navigate this journey into the unknown, seeking wisdom and enlightenment in even the darkest corners of the cosmos. Until next time, Stay vigilant, stay curious, and most importantly, stay free.